Module 3: Safe Bikes and Equipment. The vision for the industry is to promote the use of vehicles and equipment that are fit for purpose and regularly maintained. Bikes and other equipment must meet the required Australian standards and regulations. Bikes and equipment must be fit for purpose. You need to ensure that you are riding a bike that meets your specific needs, riding capability and knowledge. You need to ensure that you use an appropriate helmet, which is suiting to the type of bike you are riding. Pedal bicycles are required to comply with the Consumer Product Safety Standard in the Trade Practices Act 1974, Consumer Protection Notice No. 6 of 2004. Electric bikes are considered to be the same as bicycles. E-bikes are required to comply with European Standard EN 15194 and must be fitted with a label that specifies the manufacturer, the motor's cut-off speed, and the continuous rated power in watts. E-bikes without a pedal assist function must have a motor which generates less than 200 watts of power. E-bikes with a pedal assist function must have a motor which generates less than 250 watts of power. If your e-bike generates more than 250 watts of power, it is classified as a moped and must meet the moped requirements. If your e-bike is equipped with an internal combustion engine, may not be used in VIC. Effective bike lights are essential to help other road users see you while you are riding in dark conditions. It's also law Australian road rules require you to have a front white and rear red light visible from at least 200 meters. When riding a bicycle at night, you must display a flashing or steady white light at the front and a flashing or steady red light at the rear. The bike must also have a red reflector visible at the rear. The bicycle you are riding must have at least one working brake and a fully functioning bell or horn. It is also useful to equip your bicycle with a rear vision mirror so that you can see objects behind you. You need to do a pre-start check of your bike before you ride. Tire and brakes should be checked before every ride, and your seat should be adjusted daily to the correct height. You should lubricate your bike chain and check for wheel damage at least once per week. Monthly, you should check major components for maintenance. You should have your bicycle maintained by a professional at least twice per year. There is a large and consistent evidence base that demonstrates the protective benefits in a crash or fall of wearing a bicycle helmet compared to no helmet. Estimates of the difference in the likelihood of head and brain injury between helmet wearers and those not wearing a helmet are in the range 50% to 80%, depending on the specific injury and crash circumstance. In Australia, bicycle users are required to wear an AS/NZS 2063 compliant bicycle helmet. We recommend compliance with the newest regulation, which is AS 2063:2020. Compliance with AS 2063 will be identified by a placard inside the helmet. If your helmet does not have a certification placard, you should dispose of it and purchase a new one which has demonstrated compliance. We encourage you to choose a helmet that is white or brightly colored. This will increase your visibility to other motorists. You should avoid choosing black or dark colored helmets, as these blend in with the road background and you become harder to see. You also need to make sure your helmet is properly fitted and that the straps are not twisted. Mopeds and motorcycles are very different machines. Mopeds generally have less power and a different seating configuration. Scooter riders sit more upright, while motorcycle riders sit with a forward lean. Australian Design Rules or ADRs define a moped as a powered two-wheeler with engine capacity less than 50 ccs and with maximum speed less than 50 km per hour. Australian Design Rules define a motorcycle as having engine capacity greater than 50 cubic centimeters. Therefore, a scooter with engine capacity greater than 50 cubic centimeters is considered to be a motorcycle in Australia. Regardless of whether you ride a moped, scooter or motorcycle, your vehicle is required to meet all applicable Australian design rules. Vehicles complying with Australian design rules will be equipped with a compliance plate like the one shown here. If your vehicle does not have a compliance plate, it cannot be registered in VIC. If your moped or motorcycle has a compliance plate, you can be assured it complies with Australian design rules. If your moped or motorcycle does not have a compliance plate, you will need to do further research to determine whether it complies with Australian design rules. You should always pre-check your motorcycle before every ride. Make sure you check things like your brakes, tires, lights and mirrors to see if they are functioning properly. Ensure your number plate is visible. Monthly, you should also check major components to see if any maintenance may be needed. You should have your motorcycle maintained by a professional at least twice per year. This handy checklist shows you what you need to check to ensure your safety and safety of those around you every time you take to the road. You must wear a motorcycle helmet meeting either the Australian or United Nations Economic Commission for Europe standards, AS 1698, or UNIS 22.05. Compliance with these standards ensures that your helmet has been tested to stringent testing requirements. You can check the Consumer Rating and Assessment of Safety Helmets or Crash website to compare the safety performance of helmets. All helmets sold in Australia must have a label which demonstrates their compliance with AS 1698 or ECE 22.05. If your helmet does not have a label demonstrating compliance, you cannot ensure that it meets the required standards. You should dispose of it and purchase a new one equipped with a compliance label. You should not buy a used or second-hand helmet, as it may have been in a crash. One of the most important things to do is to ensure that your helmet fits your head. This will ensure that the helmet can protect your head in a crash. When choosing a helmet, you should first measure your head. Once you've measured your head, the measurement you've taken can be correlated to a particular size for the helmet model you are considering. Do not buy a helmet that is not sized for your specific head. Once you have a helmet that fits, you need to ensure it is tightly secured to your head, using the chin strap, which should be flat and not twisted. Eye protection. Your eyes need protection from the wind, dust, rain, insects and stones thrown up by other vehicles. Only a visor attached to the helmet or goggles provide the eye protection necessary for riding. Gloves specifically designed for motorcycle riding will improve rider comfort and protection. Jackets and pants. Purpose-made motorcycle clothing provides better weather and crash protection than ordinary clothing. You will also feel more comfortable in proper motorcycle gear. Footwear. Like gloves, footwear designed for motorcycle riding will provide comfort and protection. Motorcycle boots will provide you significantly better protection in the event of a crash. Closed footwear should be used when riding a bicycle. Wearing high visibility clothing is recommended, as it is the best practice to do so. That is the end of Module 3.